Hey everyone, welcome back to an encore edition of Jira Service Management for Software Dev Teams. My name is Alex, and I have the lovely Kate here with me. And we're going to be showing you how Jira Service Management, JSM, and Jira Software, which is not just Jira, work well together and how you can have a lot of synergies between your two applications here and how your teams can leverage the power of one or the other for improved communication and efficiencies. Kate, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm very happy that we can meet again on our tutorial. I hope that today we spend a little more time in Jira, not in Jira Service
I don't know.
Management.
I kind of like that last time where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
took it
So
all. So
last time we talked a lot about this agent side. So today I think that we can spend more time in this Jira side because we would like to talk about this software teams, and software teams are mainly in Jira, not in
yep.
Jira Service Management.
So in the chat, I usually have a couple of slides here, but in the chat, if you guys can say hello, we'd love to see where you're tuning in from, where in the world you're coming in from. So just let us know. Say hello. Frank from Berlin here. So welcome, Frank. Who else do we have? We can't only have Frank in here. So if you're in the chat here, if you're watching this live, take advantage of here of this second here's opportunity. We have Curly from Estonia. I Okay, I don't know if you do this during your live streams, but I try to pronounce the names. Sometimes I mess them up. But folks, forgive me if I mess them up. But we have Norway in the house, Brazil, Liz out of LA, who I'm looking forward to meeting because I think she's coming over to a barbecue that we're hosting. Tarun, Michelle, Kima. So lots of people, lots of Europe time zones here. So welcome everybody. And Liz, a little early for us, but here we are. Okay. So as Kate and I mentioned, right, we're doing Jira Service Management for software dev teams. This is part of our Elastic community-led instruction courses that we do. Although these are a little bit more rare, right? It's a little bit more rare for us to do a joint thing, but this is just kind of showing you the synergies between the different tools. Because as you know, Kate focuses a lot on JSM trainings. I focus a lot on Jira trainings, and we're like, why don't we show the world how they work together and bring this together? Okay, so before we get into the topics, though, Kate, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So a few words about me. So my name is Kate. I'm Chief Product Officer at AppsVio. I am co-founder also. We are Atlassian Marketplace partner. And I've been in the Atlassian ecosystem since 2011. 2 years ago, I became an Atlassian community leader. And I also joined Atlassian Creators Program. I have also a pleasure to lead some community-led classes about Jira Service Management, as Alex mentioned. And during this, the whole time in the ecosystem, I passed several certifications also, and I'm Atlassian Certified Expert Emeritus. And I'm in love, especially in Jira Service Management, but not only. Confluence is also very close to Jira Service Management, building knowledge base. So I had a pleasure to be a reviewer of book about Atlassian Confluence.
I love your handle here for Alaskan Trainings by Kate with your K8. Um,
Yes.
in the United States, I don't know how you guys have it in Europe, but in the United States, you can make for your car, for your vehicle, you can put customized license plates. And
Yeah, in Europe you can also do
okay,
it. Yeah.
yeah, and but you can get creative, right? So depending on your state, right? But you could put like Kate with KAT and put that. So I would have had that on my license plate if I was Kate living in the U.S. Okay, a little bit about me. So I'm not as interesting or as exciting as Kate, but my name's Alex. The internet likes to call me Dr. Jira. Although as of just this week, I'm gonna let's see if it works, right? But if you go to community.alasin.com, I am on the face of community.latin.com. I don't know how I made it there, but I am there. So this is new as of like yesterday. So yeah, I spend a lot of time in the Atlassian community doing a lot of videos, primarily YouTube videos on how to train folks. I just dropped a link there in my link tree. So if you guys are interested in connecting with me on LinkedIn or just I have a podcast. I'm the co-host of the Jura Life. I do these community led trainings. I do regular videos on how to use Jira. Spoilers, because of the UI, because of all the changes that Atlassian's doing, we're starting back over at video number one. And we're gonna work our way back through. So coming back, and just from the beginning, because so much has changed in the last 2 to 3 years in the Atlassian ecosystem. So it's time to redo them all. But other than that, I'm a trainer. I'm a teacher. I just do. I help people with their Jira problems. So if you have any problems, again, that link tree is available there. Check out what how I can help you out. All right. So Kate, enough of our little marketing stuff. A little housekeeping. You're gonna need, or if you, Kate, if you want to cover this, or I could do it. It's up to you. We didn't really ping pong. We forgot how we were ping
I can
ponging
do
this.
it. I can do
Yeah.
it. Yes.
I feel like I'm talking too much. So okay, go ahead.
No problem. So for this tutorial and today's training, we need Jira and Jira Service Management. So two Atlassian products. We will show you this both sides. This session is being recording, as you can see, and it will be published on YouTube channel. So you can always come back to this recording after today. And of course, if you have any questions, of course, about Jira and Jira Service Management and Atlassian products, you can put them in the chat, and we will try to reply on all these questions.
Yep. All right. So a couple of things that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to try to articulate the pain points, right? So using Jira and using Jira Service Management, while they're both independently awesome, right? They're both, they have their areas of expertise, if you will. When you try to get them to work together and try to create some synergies between the two tools, there's some pain points. And as a developer, how you interact with JSM and vice versa, right? There's a couple of pain points we'll talk about. Then we'll walk a little bit about setting up JSM, which is kind of where we got hung up last time, right? We spent a lot of time in setting up JSM. But there's a lot to set up, right? There's a lot. I think a lot of the interaction, the customer facing stuff, happens at the JSM level. So I think it's good that we spend time there so that you can see the different options there. We'll go over to the Jira software side because there's a couple of different variations that you can do. We'll give you a few options that are available, and then we'll talk about licensing. I think licensing plays a big role here because just in case it's not clear, I want to make it abundantly clear. Jira is one license, JSM is a separate license. And if you don't do this correctly, you will pay twice. You will pay one for Jira and one for JSM. But again, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's ways to do it in a slightly cheaper way, and we'll show you what your options are. And then we have automation rules. So throughout this, we'll just kind of be putting it all together and demonstrating it to you. So we'll start with some pain points. Kate.
Yes. So, in case of pain points in our cooperation between support and software teams, I guess one of the biggest problem is that we have got too much noise, too many signals, a lot of channels, a lot of sources of information. And thanks to Jira Service Management, we can collect all this information in one place, and we can have one source of truth. Because it's very important to have all this information about some incidents, about some problems. Also, if you need any more information from your customers, it's important to have the option to collect them as simple as possible. Also, we have got a portal which allows for requests to come in, but we need to think about avoiding some ping pong in this communication between your agents and customers, and also your software teams who are responsible for fixing bugs, for example, or delivering new features. What's more, requests can be triaged before making it to backlog, and this is a very cool option that we have got possibility in Jira Service Management to decide what will be going to the backlog, what will be a bug, what will be a problem which we have to fix. Also, we have got possibilities to define what issue types are, and we can easily link this requests and issues thanks to linking feature in in Jira. What's more, thanks to using these two products, we can create common platform for development and IT support teams. We also reduce some duplications between different platforms if we use them, also duplications in case of requests, because very often we have got a situation that we have got some incident and our support team can be flooded by a lot of tickets about the same topic. So thanks to Jira Service Management, we can collect all this information, link to one problem in our Jira, and create only one incident, and also inform our customers
Mm.
about this existing incident. And thanks to using these two tools being in one ecosystem, we can minimize some movement data information, like some lack of data between teams, and also minimize friction. So this cooperation between these two different teams can be very close, and thanks to this more efficient, and in the result our customers can receive better customer support from our company.
Yeah, so a couple of things to like themes that I'm hearing, right? One, single source of truth. I think this is one of the
Yeah.
biggest selling points of this whole thing is you never want duplication in data, whether that's multiple tools, right? Especially when we're talking Jira and JSM, they're two different tools. You want that synergy. You want that single source of truth where you don't have to double the effort. So we're going to show you a little bit about that today. And then the other one, Kate, we may need to redo our training if we ever do a part three, because I just got a notification from Atlassian that forms are coming to Jira, regular Jira projects.
Yes.
And and not only forms, right? Because forms are there already to some degree. I would say much weaker than they are in JSM. But the thing that caught my eye is that the forms coming to Jira will be enabled in such a way that any user can create a request without needing a license. And so if that's true, then this is a lot one of the major reasons why we use JSM. So we might Atlassian might be heading in a direction where you just need Jira software and that's it. So, but we will keep an ear out for that because again, breaking news. I haven't had a chance to test it, but we may have to refactor our training here.
Yes, yes, it's right. But I think that in case of
Mm.
this public forums, it's more about collecting some ideas, collecting feedback, rather not like regular requests in Jira Service
Right.
Management. Because
So I think the
what is
portal, right? The portal.
yes, yes, the portal, because having a portal, it's a really huge benefit, because we have got this customer facing place, we can customize it, we have got more and more options. Also, yesterday I received information about early access program to some new features according to this customization. So I think that this portal will be still a very important area.
Yeah.
And in Jira Service Management, we have got SLA metrics. So also very important part in case of customer support. But this public
Interestingly,
forms, yeah.
yeah. Interestingly enough, those SLAs are not visible to the customer, but
Yes, you need to present this SLA. You need an app to present this SLA. It's true on the portal, but in case of support teams and agents work, I think that this is very important thing. But
yeah,
yes, I'm really interested in which direction this public forms will develop, and
yeah. I
it
think.
is
I mean, yeah. I'm excited. I think there's going to be use cases for it, but like you said, right? SLAs, the portal, but the big one that that you didn't mention that I just want to make sure it gets caught up, right? Is the forms in JSM are, I would say, 1,000 times more powerful, right?
yes.
The fact that you
Yes,
can build dynamic forms that dynamically show fields, like chef's kiss, right? Like,
yes, and definitely it's For some bigger use cases, more demanding, when we have a lot of fields, we can create this dynamic forms. We need some validations, etc. So I guess that this public forms is rather for collecting feedback, some ideas,
Hmm.
but we will see. Maybe it's a first step to resign from portal and, for example, use only virtual agents and AI and forms. We will see. But
Yeah, I would say like a Tesla. I don't know if you have a Tesla or been in a Tesla, but they Elon and Tesla has gotten rid of the stocks, right? The turn signals and the
yeah,
gear selector, they're gone. They're not on the car anymore. And Tesla's justification is like, well, they're gonna drive themselves in the future. So so, so it's possible that Atlassian is setting themselves up for an AI UI, right? An AI
yes.
driven AI driven interface and interaction with the tool. Maybe you don't need all those features.
Yes, 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 it's true. I think that we are in a very interesting place in this in this time when we can see how this ecosystem and also the marketplace is changing, especially due to these AI features. So we will see.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm gonna toss it over to you to walk us through JSM setups. So I'll stop sharing my screen here, and I'll let you take over, and we'll walk folks through setting up your portal. Just talk about the different types of portals that are available to you, and let me put you at the top here so that you can be front and center. All right,
Okay.
Kate, walk us through this.
Okay, so today it will be shorter.
You got 30
It's
minutes. Go.
yeah. So as you can see here, I am in service project. So this is Jira Service Management. In this case, we are in Jira in Agents view. And in case of service project, what is the most important area for our agents that we have got our area called queues. And in queues, we can see all requests which are waiting for our reaction. We can define as many queues as we need, and these queues, the definition of these queues based on JQL. So here you can see that I have got some predefined queues, all open, assigned to me, open tasks. And of course, I can edit this queue and I can change the definition, what request I would like to see here. And as we said, SLA metrics, this is something which is typical for service projects. And here you can see the example of it. This is a time to resolution metrics. And in this case, these metrics are breached. This is my testing instance. And you can see that I have got this metrics. And here I have got a list of tickets which are waiting for my reaction. These tickets can be created by our customers from different places. And also, this is something which is unique for service projects, that we can create tickets using different channels. And here we have got channels, and we can see that uh, your customers can simply send email. And here we have got email, which is created automatically when you create new service project. Of course, you can configure this email address, and you can link your email address. For example, we have got support appsbio.com in our company, so it's fully customizable. And when your customers send email, this new ticket is created, and you can see this ticket in your queue. But more popular, definitely, it's using portal. So customer portal, which is also automatically created when you create new service project. And this is also a unique feature only in Jira Service Management. So I'm clicking open, and you can see that here I have got a space in which I can see the list of different groups. portal groups like common requests, computers, logins, and accounts, etc. And in every group, I have got a request type. So, for example, get IT help, set up VPN, request a new account, etc. Every request type is linked to issue type, represented our issues in Jira. And we can define many request types, many portal groups. You can define in which groups which request types will be presented. So very popular situation is that we create a separate portal group for common requests. So you can see that your customers create a lot of tickets from such request type. So you decided to move it to this portal group, and thanks to this, they will be handy to find these tickets and create requests. And when I'm clicking on this portal group, you can see that I have got a list of request types. For example, get IT help. And when I select this get IT help, I have got a very simple form. This is the example. It's a request form, and you can see that I have got some basic fields like summary, description, and attachment. And after filling it, I can create my first ticket. So let's create some test ticket. And when I'm clicking send, you can see that new ticket is created. So I have got information from form, which I've already filled. So I have got only summary. I didn't put any description, so it's empty. You can see that this is the request type, which I selected, get IT help. This ticket is created by me, and it's in status waiting for support. What's more, I have got some actions which are available from the portal. These transitions allow me to escalate ticket or resolve this issue or cancel the request. Also, as a customer, I can add comment. Also, I can add some attachments to this ticket, but I'm not able to modify this ticket after creation. In case of a customer, now I am in the context of customer portal, but you can have in your company many customer portals, what means many service projects, and all these projects, all these customer portals are collected in one place called Help Center. In my instance, I changed the name. It's a training center, but this is the main view which we have. So here you can see that I have got more portals. I have got also some topics. I have got some announcement which I can also put here. And here I have also a list of recently used request forms. But very often your customer only uses this one portal which you shared somewhere, create the ticket, and wants to have access to this ticket. So all tickets are collected on this request page, and your customer can see all these tickets which he created, or he is added to this ticket as a request participant. And here we have got some simple filters which can help us to find our tickets. Also, we have got possibility to edit this list view and add some additional fields. This list is limited, so now I have got all available fields in this view. And this is what your customer sees. But coming back to Jira, your agents work on this queue, and you can see that we have got this new ticket in the queue. And when I'm clicking on it and I'm going to this ticket, I have got this issue view. And in this place, of course, we have got description, we have got summary, we have got all their fields which are added to the request form, and they are really important to solve the issue. But we have got also SLAs metrics, and here we have got information that it's a time to first response, here is the time to resolution, and we have got also the date. So I know that until 28th March I should respond to this ticket. And as I am an agent, I have a possibility to communicate with customer, because what is important to say that your colleagues from your company, developers, some product owners, people from marketing, they can have access to your service project. They can see tickets, but without license, service desk agent license, they don't have ability to connect with your customer. So agents are the main contact in case of communication between software teams and customers. For example, software teams need more information about bug. They need some logs, they need some files, some screenshots, etc. So they can put such information in the comment, but this comment will be internal. And this is also something which is unique for service projects, because in service projects we have got two comment modes. I am service agent, so I can put internal note and I can reply to customer. You can see that when I put internal note, and it's a note to communicate in my team or between my team and developers, I'm clicking save, and you can see that here we have got a yellow background and information. This is internal note. So your customer doesn't see this information. So you can exchange any information with your colleagues from support team, with developers. You can put everything here. This is internal, and also your developers will have option to put such internal comments. But when you are a service desk agent, you have got this also possibility to reply to customer. And here we have got a mode in which your customer will see what you put here. So here it's external comment, comment, and you can see that this is without this yellow background, and we have got external comment which is presented to your customer. And when I go to
And you want to be very careful here. Don't mix them up.
yes, and here you can see that
Wait,
on the
somehow
customer.
your screen sharing just dropped
Ah,
somehow. Your screen sharing
okay,
dropped somehow. Yeah, but
okay,
while she's bringing her screen sharing back, again, that yellow and that white one is the difference between something very, very embarrassing and
yeah,
something not embarrassing. So be very, very cautious when you're clicking on that comment, because if you're not careful, you might click external when you're meant to do an internal note, and you don't want your customer seeing everything. Now, Kate,
yes,
we've been having some questions here. I don't know when you want to take a little break to answer
yes,
some of
I
them,
think that,
but
yeah, we
should
we
we
can
start?
move to the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think finish up. I think you were gonna click on view request and portal. Let's wrap that up, and then let's maybe show some questions here.
Mm. Okay, so as you can see that on the portal, I have got only one external comment, and your customer,
Oh,
of
the
course.
portal's not. I think you the way you shared, right? We just see JSM.
Oh,
There
yeah.
it is. There it
Okay.
is. Okay.
Yeah, here we are on portal. So we have got only one comment. Of course, your customer can answer on this comment, can send the reply. But as Alex said, you have to be careful about this internal and external comments, because it's really powerful feature in JSM. But when you are an agent and you have got these two options, you have to think twice what you put in this comment, because I guess that it won't be the best situation if you put some internal comment like this customer is stupid and he is pushing me again about some things or something like this. So it's for internal communication, but we have to be careful what we put in this comment,
Yeah.
of course.
And we'll talk a little bit more about this, because these comments, right? Who can comment based on, again, the synergy between Jira users and JSM users. there's some rules around this, and we'll talk about them in a few minutes when I get to chat with you about the licensing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, Kate. So first question we got from Frank is, how do you separate JSMs? As licensing is not dependent on Jira users, in a multi-site environment with a mix of local and global teams, this might get confusing. Is there some best practice? My first question would be, are we separating across the same instance, or is it really truly multiple instances? Because JSM, um, okay, I have an answer, but I'll let you go if you have anything that comes to your mind first.
Um, so it's about multi-site. It means that we have got different Jira instances.
That's what it sounds like. So I'm hearing like, how do you know when you want a separate instance versus another? And so I think there's two questions to answer here. One is access for JSM is really at the project level, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't have to have a separate instance of JSM if you want separate portals that have separate everything, right? You can segregate customers, you can segregate the portal, right? And you can lock things up. So you can have one instance with multiple portals, multiple projects, and just different settings to prevent bleed, right? Like crossover. But my 2 cents, when do you need a JSM across instances, right? Two or more instances. My 2 cents on that is, I think one, it's dependent on plugins, right? Um, like Jira, Atlassian charges or bills you for your plugins based on your number of users.
Yeah.
So if you have 1,000, 5,000 users, you don't want to pay when only 20 people need that instance, right? Or need that plugin. So in that particular case, you would want to maybe set up a different instance so that you pay only for those 20 agents, right? So that's one case. But anything else that comes to your mind?
Um, Maybe if you have some security issues that you need to have some separate instance because you outsource your team, for example.
Hmm.
Also, I remember that once we had some customer who had cloud instance and data center instance, and developers are working on data center instance and they have got support on cloud instance. So in this situation they used plugin to make synchronization between issues. So thanks to this they will be able to up to date. But in case of cloud, I think that in one instance we can use these permissions for every projects, and I guess that we can configure this access if we
Yeah.
need.
It's
Also,
configurable. It's very configurable, but you got to know what you're doing. And I think having separate instances is a little bit more forgiving, right? If you have
yeah,
multiple instances, you don't have to know what you're doing so well. Like you still need to know, but you don't have to know as well because if you're in just if you're in one instance, multiple projects, it's possible for you to lock things up too much and then nobody can access, or not lock it enough and have accidental crossover and contamination. So it's a little bit more risky, I would say, if you don't know what you're doing.
yeah. Also, when we are in one project, we have got one list of customers and we can define what customers are added to which service project. And also, we have got a new, relatively new option, because in case of requests types, we have got here the list of request types, and we have got a new feature called restrictions.
Restrictions, yeah.
Yeah.
This was a cool one. So yeah, so to echo what this one means, right? Is like you could present users to the portal, but then even within the portal now you can hide certain requests based on their group or based on whatever criteria you set up. So
Yes.
I would
Yes.
say there is no silver bullet though, right? At the end of the day, there is no like best practice. I would say it all depends on what your specific business needs are.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because,
Mm.
for example, for some people, this restriction on the request type level, it's something which is enough. But it depends on the situation. So I think that having many instances is more demanding in case of configuration administration. But maybe in some situations it can be better than having one instance.
Yeah. So this next question here from Susan, this is one I struggle with a lot, right? So do your clients have to, basically the customer, do they have to sign up if they want to see the request in the portal? Or is there a way for them to view the requests without creating an account? And by account we mean an Atlassian account, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm troubled by this one. I have an answer, Kate, but I'll let you go first.
So unfortunately you need to access to this portal if you want to view this request after creation, because this email address, this is something which we use to link your requests. And thanks to thanks to this email address, we know, okay, so this ticket was created by you, so you can see this information. And
Yeah.
this is something which I guess a lot of people requested, that they want to use customer portal as place to collect feedback about product and collect some ideas. And the problem is that they are not public, and people, they don't see it. So I guess that this new feature in case of forms and public forms maybe solve this problem a little bit. But in general, you need to log in to see your created request.
Right. And so it's kind of like a necessary evil, right? Like what I tell my clients is, well, Jira, how's Jira supposed to know who you are if you don't tell it who you are, right? So, like, you have to help Jira a little bit, right? Because just saying I want to see my request, well, my request is dependent on who I am, right?
Yes.
And if Jira doesn't know who I am, then how does it know what my request is? So, the account is the only way, right? Now, it is a free account, right? So it's not like you have to pay for it. In fact, if you Atlassian does a pretty good job. So if your customer has their own Jira, right, that's already an Atlassian ID. So they will have to basically sign up again. And I think that's where things get a little tricky. But you're signing up with basically your same account, right? You don't need separate emails to log into different portals, right? And so and again, it's free. So I don't think it's that big of it's not a big problem. I get that it's an inconvenience because now you're depending, like, now your client or customer, they have to set something up. But there might be ways around it through like external share for Jira, right? There's an option where now, but now you don't have the portal, right? Now you're physically sharing the actual ticket or work item itself. So there's no pretty way to do this. Is all I can tell you.
Yes, but it's like ordering something in online shop, that you need to have some passes to see your order. So this is why we need to log in. But this is very important thing, that we don't have to pay for customers. So if we have a pure customer without access to Jira, only with access to customer portal to create tickets, to view tickets, we don't have to pay for them. So we can have a lot of customers, and without access to Jira, they are not Jira users, so we don't have to pay for them.
This one's interesting from Kari. She says, you need a portal account. It's not an Atlassian account. I kind of feel like they're one and the same, no? At the end of the day, well, maybe, but I feel like they're one and the same because you're logging into, I think it's an Atlassian ID at the end of the day. Is it not? Like, why would Atlassian treat your portal account different? I feel like it's
Mm.
at the end of the day, it's an Atlassian ID, right?
Yes, and I guess that in the past, it was a little bit different situation, but now they combine it, and when you try to log into portal, and they see, okay, this email is connected with some Atlassian account, they want to sign up using Atlassian account.
Yeah, I feel like Atlassian wouldn't. Atlassian would be foolish to say, well, here's a free email. We're not going to add them to our pool of users, right? Like, I feel like it's at the end of the day, it's still just an Atlassian ID. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like Atlassian wouldn't. I don't think Atlassian would segregate the two. Like that account is just maybe it doesn't have the right access, right? Maybe it's not a user, it's a customer. But at the end of the day, you're like their customer. What I do know that your customers kind of get treated differently though. Like there's a place in Jira where you can see your customer or portal only users versus your internal portal only users, right? So there's two places for them, but I think still at the end of the day, it's just an Atlassian account.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, in the interest of time, since we have 20 minutes left, Kate, why don't you maybe wrap us up here and on
Yeah, I
JSM
think that
and
we
we'll
have
keep
to
going.
go to this software teams because
So,
we have got a ticket. We have got this issue, the most important thing, and we have got this internal external comments, and these external comments are the most important thing in this communication between support teams and development teams.
okay, well then I guess it's my turn.
Yes, yes.
um, I will show you where we are or what we have available here and how this works out. So I'm gonna kind of skip around. Let me remove yours, add mine. And so one of the first things that I want to show you is that when you are managing your users, right? So a lot of this happens in admin.atlassian.com. So what Kate showed you was we have JSM, we have tickets coming in. Awesome. We have them there. But we want our developers to interact with them because for some reason or another, they're a stakeholder, they're an interested party, right? They're somebody that needs to provide some information, some doing with that particular request that came in. And what Atlassian wants to highlight here, what we've been asked to kind of present to y'all, is that about 6 months ago, which is around the time when we did this first training, right, back in October of 2024, Atlassian, under the JSM product, introduced a new license called the stakeholder license. Okay. And and I want to be very clear about what this does, right? Because we have four options when we look at JSM. Our user, our agent, that is the expensive license. That is the one where you pay for that user to basically have unrestricted access to all JSM. These are expensive. You don't want to hand these out to just about anybody, right? You want your agent license to be literally the people that are going to work your tickets, right? You wouldn't want to give a license to a developer if you expect the developers to do a subset of the work, right? And we'll talk about that in more detail in a few minutes. But this is an expensive license because if you give your developer both a Jira user license down here and you give them a JSM user license agent, then you're paying what is it, 17, $18 for Jira and was it 20, $22 US dollars for JSM. So now that user's costing you like 40, $45, right? And if you're on premium, that's even worse because it gets even more expensive, right? I think
Yeah.
a JSM premium license is like 54 US dollars or something like that per month. So it can get pretty expensive, right? And so there's that one. Then there's the customer. So this is that free one, right? These are internal folks that are just customers of your instance. Um, they don't have a license. They don't. I mean, they have a license, but they don't consume. They're not billed, right? You're not going to pay for these people. But look, they can visit. I'm going to see if I can zoom in here. They can visit the help center. They can submit requests, and they can view articles, Confluence articles for your knowledge base. Then we have user access admin, which we don't want to give to just about anybody, right? This is literally this is an interesting one that Atlassian rolled out maybe a year ago, where you have maybe there's like office assistant or maybe there's somebody in your team that is not technical. They are not a Jira admin, right? But they need to be able to add users in Jira. And so this is a special new privilege or a special new license that Atlassian gives you so that you can give to people so that they can manage the user but not mess up Jira. Because in the past you needed to have both, right? You needed to basically be a Jira admin that you could mess up Jira, right? And you could then do the licensing here. But What's new is this stakeholder one. So this stakeholder one is you receive incident updates and has the same product access as the customer, but you also have a couple of extra stuff that we'll talk about here, right? And this stakeholder one is what you would now give your developer, right? So you would basically now be able to have interaction. You'll be able to go into the JSM project. You'll be able to see things in JSM. Not everything. I'll cover what you can see in a minute, but it allows you to do some interactions versus not having the stakeholder license, or just having a customer one doesn't give you anything, right? So in this particular case, stakeholder is going to basically give us what we want. So what do we get with this stakeholder, right? So this stakeholder license here allows collaboration, as this article says here. And I'm going to drop this article inside the chat here, right? And this basically allows collaboration between Jira and JSM, right? And so I want to scroll down here to this company managed projects here, and then we'll talk about team managed. But here's what's possible. Okay. So once you give somebody that stakeholder license, that is step one, right? You're going to give your developer, instead of giving them an agent license for JSM, you're going to give them a stakeholder license for JSM, which is different, which is more powerful than a customer. Okay. Because if you give them just customer, all they can do is see the portal, and that doesn't do us any good. So we want them to have a stakeholder, which is kind of like an in between. Not really, but you can kind of think of it like an in between the agent and the customer, right? So what can they do? Well, Atlassian highlights 4 key things that I want you to walk away with here. Okay. Number 1, they can add internal, and I want to put emphasis. If you're taking notes, highlight, underscore, put arrows. They can add internal comments. And so from what Kate showed us earlier, this individual, or developer preferably, will be able to interact with the agent in private, right? So if the agent has a question, right, maybe the agent is like asking the developer, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Is this really a bug? What can we do here? That communication can now happen in that same ticket. Prior to this, it would have to be on Slack, or it would have to be an email, right? You would have to leave. You couldn't be in JSM. You couldn't be in the request. But because of the stakeholder license, your developer internally can add comments and attachments. Okay. Now there are ways for them to talk. We'll get to how do we communicate with the customer. So stay tuned for that. But that's one of the big benefits here. So they can now do this for free. Second, they can create issues. So not through the portal, right? But internally, specifically like subtasks, right? They can, if a request comes in and then they want to have a task or two for themselves to go fix that problem, they can now create a subtask or some issue in that JSM project, so that they can now be accountable to fixing or dealing with the situation that came through. They can also edit and delete their own comments, right? And finally, they can link issues and link to Confluence pages. So provide context, situational awareness, right? And so this is powerful, right? This is again, not, you don't get all the power of being an agent, but you get enough. You get just enough to be dangerous, is what we like to say, right? But this definitely helps out a little bit. Now, with respect to team managed projects, if the service project is open, the Jira user will be able to view the tickets without needing to do anything special. I should call out that in the company one, at a minimum, right, you give them the stakeholder license, then you have to go into the permission scheme. So you have to go into your Jira JSM project, again, company managed only. What are your project settings? And then you got to do one or two things if and when this decides to load on me. So Susan, yeah, the stakeholder is free, but it's only available if you're on the premium or enterprise versions of Jira. But it is a free license. I do believe I was getting a question over here about billable. Uh, yes, so they would be billable to your guard, because if they're using your company's email, right, then they're billable. Unless you're an enterprise, then that's a moot point. But as long as they're coming in through your SSO or through your Atlassian Guard, they will be a billable user from that perspective, but they wouldn't be billable from a JSM license perspective. So you'd only have to pay for the Guard if you have Guard. Okay. So once you give them that stakeholder license, which again is a free license if you're JSM Premium or Enterprise, Then you go to your permissions, and my UI here looks. I'm still in the Atlassian one, so my UI is still the older one. But holy moly, is my internet not working right now? Yeah, I like this comment. If you pay enough, you get some things for free. Yeah. Unless that group has JSM product access. So, well, if you so let's talk about what product access is, right? Because if you're giving a user a JSM product access, then by that definition, you're giving them the agent license, and at which point Atlassian's trying to actually help you, right? They're trying to make it cheaper for you because you don't. Your developer wouldn't need to become an agent. They don't need product access. That's what the stakeholder license is for, so that you could do the things that you would normally do as a stakeholder, but without having to pay for that product access. So it would be inefficient and not cost effective to give them to put them into a group that automatically gives them product access. You'd want to rethink that. Okay, for some reason my Jira is just not working with me today. Let's try that one more time. My Jira just like hung up. Let's see if I can maybe try a different Jira. My Atlassian one might be expiring. They're only good for
Do you
31
have a
days.
premium Jira? Maybe you need a premium Jira.
No. I have the Atlassian one. I have the one that Atlassian gives us to use. But I think my 90 day of having it for free is up. So let's see if we can find a JSM one in my personal one. I don't ever do them, so I might. There we go. Here's a demo one. By the way, this is the new Jira, and Atlassian has changed everything, and I hate it.
Not only you.
Not only me. Okay, so in your JSM project, sorry, this is a long-winded answer. Once you give that user that stakeholder license, you then now need to come into the browse projects permission and make sure that they meet the qualification here. Okay, so they need to be either in a group or in a role that is going to grant them that browse projects, and then they'll be able to do this stuff here. Okay. Balances. You wouldn't give someone a user and a stakeholder. Yeah, you don't want to do them both, folks. So so Scott, if you're automatically given JSM, like if you are putting your developers in a group that is automatically giving them JSM product access, aka agent, then you're paying a lot of money. You're paying too much money, right? Like Atlassian's literally trying to say you could do this in a cheaper way. It appears stakeholders were rebranded. Yeah, so stakeholder was rebranded from collaborator. I was also looking at that. I think collaborator was initially what they called it 6 months ago, but it looks like it's stakeholder now. So Scott's saying if the user sync via a group that uses JSM product as the user will be billable for a JSM license. I was wondering the question that Liz asked. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you well, this is just Jira 101 or Jira admin 101, right? Because if you sync to a product, then you're billable, right? That's just how that's set up. But yeah, you double bill. Okay. Let's say my developer already has a Jira license. Is there any reason I would want them to give them the stakeholder? Because as far as I know, they see in common issues in JSM with the Jira license. They should not be able to see or comment on the issues with the JSM license because they can't access the JSM project. Right? Like not having not having a JSM license means that when they go into a JSM project, they don't see anything, right? The issues are hidden from them. Even if they have permission, you have to have a JSM license of some sort, whether that's the stakeholder or the agent license. They wouldn't be able to see or comment on issues. You have to have a JSM license, as far as I know. Now, your Jira admins might be able to go like see permissions, but even me as a Jira admin, if I don't have a JSM license, even though I'm a site admin for some reason, I can't see any of the issues. So I don't think that this would be true here. What do you think, Kate? You can't see anything, right?
Yeah, I think that works exactly how you said.
Yeah. She says when I previously have tested it, they were able to see it, but not cues. Did you try to actually add the comment though? Because I like maybe you can see it, but I don't know if you'd be able to interact with it, right? Like even if you could see the issue, which I'd have to check, right? But even if you could see the issue and you could see the comments, can you? add a comment because I don't think Jira would let you do like that. Would be if that's true, then Atlassian would have a big gaping hole, and I think they'll patch that up quickly. Okay, so let's proceed here just to kind of wrap things up because we are down to the last 5 minutes. So, how can the user interact with a customer? So one of the things here is since they can only add internal comments, you could add them as a customer. So you could add your developer as a customer, and they could basically become a requested participant, which is technically a customer, right? And then that's where they can now interact. But now they have to be added as a basically as a customer of that ticket or of that request. So there's a workaround here where they can now add public comments, but now they're treated more like a customer than they are a stakeholder. So there's some pros and cons to both. But like I said, I dropped the link here um, to you so you can take a look and run through that yourselves. Now, okay, because we're down to the last couple minutes, I'll just make some honorable mentions here that some teams, right? So we'll go through the automation rules. So it is possible, and I'll drop a link here. There's this article here, right? That I'm just gonna drop into the chat. But this is just the beginning, right? So a couple of things that you could do that some teams tend to do is if your developer, let's just say a request comes in from Kate, right, from your portal, and it's a bug, it's a real problem that needs to get addressed. Well, the developers are going to obviously create like a bug, but now we've duplicated our data, and that single source of truth has been broken, right? And we don't have that single source of truth anymore. And this is not good. We want these things to be single sources of truth. So the options that you have really, you have two options. Option one is through automation rules, you create a bug and link it to that service ticket, and you create automation rules that keep it in sync so that when a comment or an attachment is added on one side, it moves over to the bug, and vice versa if you want to, right? Also, as the status changes in the bug, you can update the ticket in the service desk, right? You can update the statuses to kind of keep the statuses in sync. So this is the easiest way to not have to contaminate the licenses, right? Where Jira stuff stays in Jira with the Jira users and the Jira license. JSM stays in JSM with the JSM license. But through automation rules, we keep things in sync. Okay. Now the other way, if you have a lot of money, then you give your Jira developers the JSM license as well, and now you can actually just pull that issue into your board. You have to map your statuses, right? You have to, whatever statuses you have in JSM now need to be mapped in your board, but it is possible for you to just bring in that incident that came in, that request, and keep it in your board. But everybody needs to have that JSM license. So it just depends on the use case you have. So you have at least three different scenarios, right? You can keep everything in JSM with the stakeholder license. You can keep things separate, but sync them using automation rules, separate licenses. Or if you have a lot of money, give everybody a license and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but also in case of automation, you have to be careful about some limitations and number of automations.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And JSM has naturally a lot less limitations there. All right, so Kate, we're down to the last couple minutes here. Any final thoughts, closing comments that we want to bring to the people?
So I think that all of us are waiting for Team 25 in Anaheim and news. I guess not only from AI area, but also from the speakers, these public forums, and other things. Because I see that this collaboration between different teams, not only support and software, but also business marketing, it's something which is important to Atlassian. So we will see what new things will be announced during Team 25.
Yeah, I'm excited. I will be a team. You're going to be a team. It's our
Yes.
once a year get together. Um, I will also have a presentation. So I'm going to be doing a community led course on Thursday at 3:15 p.m., which is right when the expo closes, but conveniently enough, 5 hours before Bash. So if you want to hang out, if you want to hang out and kill at least 2 hours, I'm going to have my presentation basically from 3 to 5. And then you only have to wait 3 hours for the Bash party. And so come on over. I'll be doing a book giveaway. Uh, bring your book if you have one, so I can sign it. Um, and um,
Yeah, I
and
will be there also with my company, with AppsBio. We have got a booth, so feel free to visit us.
and I'm gonna stop by, get some stickers, and maybe save me a shirt.
Okay, okay. We have got, I guess, very nice and in American style stickers. So,
Okay.
so
All
I
right.
I think that you will
Well, folks, I got to run to another call. Thank you all for being here. Kate, we got to do this at least once every 6 months. So
like. Yes. Thank you very much.
bye, everyone.
Bye.